So you had been pretty vocal about Lamar's performance in this past week. How'd you feel he responded against LA?
I thought he played better. Sometimes it's easier to get in the rhythm when you're playing up front. Because he was able to get in that rhythm. Again, I thought our team played well. I thought we created a number of chances. We looked at that this morning and said, if we play like this, we're going to have more positive outcomes than not. But I thought for Lamar, it was a good active game. He got himself in some good positions. Obviously, he would have liked to have finished one or two of those chances. A couple he could do nothing about. The headers, Pinedo made good saves on. The one where he broke in and hit with his right foot. I think if he could take that back, he might have beat him to the near post because he gave him the whole near post. But we just go from there.
And then what about Clint? Obviously not making the trip down to LA, but out here today training?
Yeah, we're hoping continues to make strides. We'll see how he feels, tomorrow now, because he went through all the training today, did some extra work, so we feel pretty confident he'll be able to go on Saturday.
What was it that kept him out on Saturday?
Hamstring. Yeah.
Same hamstring that bothered him when he was with the national team, or other hamstring?
I think it was a different one.
What did you think of Brad getting the call, and what would his status be for this weekend?
It all depends a little bit of how many minutes he plays, down in San Antonio. I understand they're laying grass turf over the AstroTurf, so, sometimes those fields play really, really heavy. So I don't know what his plans are. Is he in the starting lineup? Is he going to play center back? Is he playing outside back or whatever? But, that's up for Jurgen to decide. So we'll, play it by ear. He'll come back here on Thursday, and then we'll make some decisions.
It's nice to see him kind of get some positive reinforcement and getting the call back up after a little while away.
Well, he was on the preliminary list. He's been on the preliminary list a couple of times already, and so this time he decided to call him in, I think, because of the less foreign players coming in. But it's also for him, it's an opportunity, and it's good that Jurgen has confidence in him.
What about Jordan Morris getting the call up as well?
That's, obviously good for Jordan, we hope he continues to grow as a player, and, hope to have him in the Sounders uniform one day.
The upcoming match is the first time you'll have Alonso, Papa, and Pineda all available to you this season. What does that do from a coach's perspective for having those kind of weapons?
It means I got to speak more Spanish. That's the first thing. No, it's just good being able to have all those guys out on the field together. There's an understanding that's there, so hopefully that understanding then provides a basis. But again, like I said, I thought in LA, I thought we played well. I thought we had a good mixture of decisions that we made on the field, and had maybe some younger legs out there that helped stretch the game at times. And I know I worked them pretty hard in training on Friday, harder than we normally work 2 days before. And that might have reflected itself in the last 15 minutes of the game, but I thought overall, I was pleased, and we got to build on that. So having Pineda and and Papa and Alonso all available at the same game is great.
Having those three guys that I mentioned, what does that do to change kind of the game plan? Does it change anything?
Well, like I said, it always changes because everybody individually is different. Pineda's a better passer, maybe out of midfield, but Rose is a player who gets into the box. The one that Rose gets in the box at the near post and hits off Pineda's chest. I don't think Gonzo gets in there for that. So you add something, you lose something as you make changes. But certainly his passing, his leadership, his game savvy is always appreciated on the field.
Kovar has made as many league appearances as he did all of last year so far to this season. What have you seen from him so far in the preseason that sort of necessitated that?
Well, he started preseason well. He played well. When he had his opportunities, he did well from there. It's still a work in progress, for Aaron. I think right now he probably needs to get a game again, so he might get a game with S2 this weekend because I think that's important for his development. You can't, with a young player, if he's always only a sub spot playing here or there and just getting practice, it stalls it a little bit. So I think his continued growth is dependent upon some of those games as well. And he's worked hard. He's done a good job. He's gotten into good positions on the end line, good crosses. And that's important.
And you always hear about his crossing ability anytime he really comes up. Is it a matter of sort of sharpening that skill or kind of adding other skills to complement that?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I mean, he's a good crosser and he can hit the ball, and there's times where you got to whip it in there with pace. But there's times sort of like, if you're a hammer and you're going to hit a nail, it depends, if you're just putting a nail into a big piece of wood, you just hammer the shit out of it. And, and if you're putting it in a more delicate area in your kitchen, maybe you're tapping it a little bit. So you got to have that differentiation of, when to bring out the big hammer and when to bring out the soft hammer. And he's still got to learn that a little bit, but I like crosses with pace. I like his ability to hit balls in behind the defense, curling, bending balls at the right time.
I know it's early in the season, but how nice would it be to pick up 3 points on the road?
Well, I mean, it is nice. I think I heard on Fox Soccer the other day, since 2009, I guess we're the best road team in MLS over that cumulative period. And, we've always been a good road team. And this year, we've tied and we've lost on the road. But really, we feel we should be 2-0 on the road, because we should have won the game in Dallas with the chances we had. And I thought we had enough chances in LA to win that game. So we just got to take that same mentality. I think that's what makes us a good road team. Is we take the mentality on the field that we can win, whether we're home or away, and we got to play a good game. Obviously, Colorado's confident now with their win, so they're going to come at us with their chests puffed out a little bit more than they would have been a week ago. So we just have to be ready for that part of it. But I think we can go up there and get some points.
How did you install that? I mean, it's easier said than done. I guess everybody could have a mentality we're going to do just as well on the road as at home. I mean, obviously, then you and your coaching staff have to get that into your players' heads, don't you?
Well, it's just been my philosophy has always been that you don't alter all that much how you play. There's few places that are real intimidating places where the crowd forces you into altering your game or so forth, and a lot of the teams, sometimes for us, because we've always been a good counterattacking team, so for us to go on the road, sometimes teams attack us a little bit more, so that opens up a little more space. And in the days of Zakawani and people like that, and now with Martins and Dempsey, we certainly have players who can counterattack and create good opportunities from that. So that's made us a good road team.
What is it about Alonso that made you guys go after him in the first place years ago, bringing him here?
He was a good player. I mean, I was at Columbus at the time, and he had come on a trial with me at Columbus, but I didn't have a contract to offer him. I only had a developmental contract, and he didn't want a developmental contract. So he left us. He went to Chivas, trained there for like 4 weeks. They eventually didn't offer him a contract. We tried to get him back to Columbus. He still didn't want to come for that, so he ended up going to Charleston. Sort of followed it. That was 2008. And when I came here, Adrian said, there's a guy playing at Charleston that we really like. And he mentioned a name, and I said, yeah, go get him. And so we, the club at that time spent some allocation money to go get him. He wasn't necessarily an easy one, but I always felt that he was a good player. He was the kind of player that you need in the middle of the park, who had good speed, had good anticipation, who could help you recover the ball.
How has he evolved since you first met him till now?
He's become a better passer, become more aware of his spaces on the field when he needs to switch the ball, when he needs to switch the point of attack. Less impulsive at times, so as a result, I think, I'm not sure because I haven't checked it. I would assume his yellow cards have gone down over the years. But he continues to grow. You become better at the finer details of the game.
How is he viewed in this clubhouse? Like by his teammates, by the rest of the coaching staff? How do you guys view him?
He's viewed as an important player, and he's part of our team. Our guys know that the most important thing is the team, that individuals comprise the team, and individuals make you a strong team, but that individuals are nothing without a team. And, that's our motto. That's what we talk about all the time. And, he's a big part of our team, and he's a very talented individual.